All right, so I kind of have like a personalized like question to ask you because I've been noticing this happening frequently lately, and it can throw you through like a curve. At least it's been like throwing me for a bit of a curve because it makes the draw become difficult. It makes the draw become two-sided when it doesn't really sweep the liquidity on one side. And so Friday was a perfect example. Okay, we have NQ and then we have ES. So similar structure, obviously. You can see like equal highs here. This is, this is Asia. And then basically we come to New York Open. New York Open, you know? Got London high, Asia low, and then we come to New York Open. All right, so basically this is a 15-minute. Basically, like I was framing London high and then this Asia low basically, and the only reason why is because sorry. I'm gonna get a little bit more closer. All right, um so we had like equal highs, London high. Now we had Asia low, and then 930 is about somewhere in here. So 930, all right. So 930 comes in. It doesn't take out the low on both assets. ES, you can see. You see, ES does the same thing. It doesn't take it out. So we have like equal lows, and then it runs for the London high, and ultimately it runs for the smooth highs of the previous, day, which is fine. The only problem is it's so tricky. See, I was expecting this. I was expecting like a rip down here, then rip up here, and then from there, who knows? Like we had the ultimate like a higher time frame draw down here, so then it could go. But what's tricky is when it does this, it leaves it and then goes. And the only thing that I was noticing is that on RTH, that level had been taken. It had been taken Friday 9:30. That's the open at Friday 9:30. It takes the liquidity. All liquidity down there on regular trading hours is taken. It 9:30 right here. See, it's taken in both assets. So it was taken on RTH, but it wasn't taken on ETH. So I noticed that, but it still wasn't enough for me to trust that, okay, now we can go. And it's tricky because if this thing had got taken on either ES or NQ on electronic trading hours, that would have been a slam dunk. Like, obviously, get in here, just get in here. And then you're aiming for here. And then ES was super nice because I mean, look at all this that it like ticked above. So we got the London high, and then it went beyond. And ES was actually the strength leader, which made it even trickier. Whenever ES is like the strength leader, it's always trickier for me than when NQ is, because NQ normally is. So it ticked that high right there, which was nice, high of the day. So the draw was easy enough, but just trusting that it was gonna go there when we left this on electronic trading hours was the tricky part. And that's basically all I want to share. The only other thing is that we had talked about this a while ago that I had noticed is you get the consolidations and then you get the fair value gap breaking out of the consolidation. And we talked about this a while ago how they work. They work pretty dang nice. They work like really nice. And as you can see, it gets used. Right there, you got the macro in here. 10 o'clock comes in and ticks into it and then goes. But man, by leaving this, it was just like I was just like, man, I just don't know. One other thing is, okay, so by the time we by the time we kind of take this out up here, and then we're 10:20, we're retracing 10:30 retracement. Now, when we were up here taking this thing out, I was like, all right, I understand. It wants to, at this point, I was like, it wants to go for the highs, but you got to wait for the 10:30 retracement, and then maybe it'll go. Only reason why I was really confident in it, or I was really biased in that way, is because of ES is like super clean right there, and I was like, I'm just feeling like this thing wants to go up. But it's tricky because you're entering into like, 10 o'clock move has basically occurred. Then we get into 10:30 retracement, And the thing is, then we got the 11 o'clock macro, which was right here. Kind of like consolidation from 10:30 to like right after the 11 o'clock macro. Gave a little bit of SMT in here. As you can see, NQ swept that, that low right here, which also happens to be just like 15-minute we got fair value gap in here. It ticks the lower one on NQ taking it, where ES was the strength leader, and that's right here. So it didn't even tick into this lower one. And then that's right after the macro, the 11 o'clock macro. And then that's what gives like the expansion up into like that ES draw, and NQ was a weaker one, so it didn't go for it. So the one other thing I want to say is that, so basically what I was trying to say is, okay, when we're finally taking out up here and then like blasting, it's like, yeah, okay, I understand. This thing wants to go up higher, but wait for a 1030 retracement. Then you can maybe go. If you had gone on an ES, you would have been all right, but NQ like swept it again, creating the SMT, and then it gave the move. Kind of a strange time, but I mean, the macro was used right after the macro was used for to do it. Coming back into that fair value gap that we talked about, the one that blasts out of like the consolidation. And then, then it went. So that's all. So when it leaves equal lows like that, but it takes them on the RTH, yeah, we can notice that. But it just makes things very tricky for me when it leaves liquidity like that. You know what I'm saying? Sorry this was so long.